Hello, folks. This is Bubba, the Jewish Redneck Prepper, back with you this morning. And oh boy, I hope you do appreciate this. We're here on Fort Gordon, and we in the Signal Corps Museum. We're bringing this to you today. We had a lot of trouble going through here, coming through the gate, national security. Had to get a 30-day pass to come in here on campus. And one guard said we can videotape, another guard said we didn't, so we had to come to the museum and actually ask the director to get permission. He said he seen nothing wrong with it. So what today was we're going to bring you a little bit of the history of the Signal Corps of the military here at Fort Gordon and give you a little bit of the history here. And here it says Signal Corps recipient of the Medal of Honor. And these some old pictures of the Medal of Honor. And Fort Gordon is an old fort here. It goes back to World War II. And what's that you got, Mom?
Story of the Wig Wag Flag, story of the Signal Corps Pigeon, the Western Front, aviation, and Hello Girls.
So that must be about the wax.
Mm-hmm.
Signal Corps,
I did
Hello
sign
Girls.
this in.
Okay. You got a book where you can sign in?
Yeah.
And all of that. And what you showing? What you fixing to do? Or giving a donation?
Yep.
Yeah, they have a donation box here. And gives you meaning of different stuff. Which is, come on, let's go. Move on down through here. And we got, I'm going to get a picture of this here. A World War I style hats that are on display. And we got the old telegraph types here in World War I. Now, my dad was in Signal Corps here. My dad was stationed back here in the 1950s. My dad was learned to destroy enemy wire, learned to climb poles and put up our wire, and knew how to do the telegraph. Here going to Albert J. Myer Memorial Room.
This is the guy who started the Signal Corps.
Oh, this is the guy that started Signal Corps?
Mm-hmm.
And just seeing by the pictures, these old pictures, Signal Corps goes way back before then. Signal Corps is about signaling. I mean, Signal Corps goes back hundreds and hundreds of years. He may be the guy that started Signal Corps here in the United States for the military. But flags, if you look and notice that the flags had different meanings and way of signaling people to send certain messages and everything. And Camp Gordon has always been a #1 center for the military on Signal Corps. Got a display here of Major Albert J. Myer, U.S. Army, General McClellan Staff, Headquarters, Army of the Potomac, via Fortress Monroe. And we've got a picture of Albert J. Myer here. I'll show you a rifle, old sword, telescope. It's back from the Civil War. Amazing. Now we enter in the room of, what is this, Gordon?
Mm-hmm.
John Brown Gordon.
Mm-hmm. Lieutenant General.
Lieutenant General John Brown Gordon. What does it say?
Confederate States of America.
He was Lieutenant General of the Confederate States of America.
Who is considered by many as one of the greatest fighting men in this country.
And he was also a Baptist minister. He attended the University of Georgia, graduated in 1852, and then practiced law when he joined the Confederate Army. So this military base is actually named, yeah, but it was named after a general that fought for the Confederacy.
Mm-hmm.
And there's many folks out there that particularly would not like that. You know what I'm saying? Another little thing. And Mom, there's the original gate right there.
What's it?
It's a photograph of the original gate of what Fort Gordon looked like.
Yeah, I remember when the gates used to look like that.
And there's still only a couple still left. They're closed off now. But that is the gate right there of the original Fort Gordon right there.
That looks like gate 2.
And there's a license plate right there when it was originally called Camp Gordon. There's some postcards. And it's got a little patch there that says Fort Gordon Youth Badge. And there's a banner. What are those things called? Oh, they got a certain name for it there. Banners for Camp Gordon right there with the presidential seal on it. Okay, let's move on. Here we got a few more interesting facts. We got the old Camp Gordon Cadence newspaper on file. That's back from July 1944. Wow, that's definitely an antique.
That's where my mama was born.
Mm-hmm. My dad wasn't young then. But Dad, when he was stationed here, it was Camp Gordon. And he got his basic training here and his advanced training before he was shipped off to Schofield Barracks in Hawaii. He got both his basic training and his advanced training here.
Daddy was 15 when this place was built.
Wow. Get a little video short of Sigma apparatus. And here they got another picture of B.J. Albert James Myers. And here we got more pictures. It shows you a little display of the signal corps in the West between 1874 and 1900. Here's a picture of military uniform, dress blues here. And some of the kind of equipment the military used at that point in time. One of them was called the heliograph. Gives you a little bit of brief information here. And show you using flags for military stuff. It's war equipment. Flags. Torch Fuel Canteen. How you doing?
I'm great.
I'm Louis. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Sorry, from Burkina Faso.
Cool.
Yeah. A lot here, a lot of things.
Oh yes.
After mastery, class.
Yes, sir. Well, it's nice meeting you. You take care. Huh? And little diorama. Senior Corps headquarters. What's that?
Cautionary signal.
Oh, okay. I never knew
It tells
that.
you about the weather that you got coming up.
Uh-huh.
All right. By night, it would be a red light.
Okay.
Today, it would be a red light, like a certain time.
I just met a fascinating young man.
Yes.
I don't know what country he's from, but he's working over here. He must be stationed here learning signal corps. Young fellow. Well, very nice guy. Was doing his step up. Hey, how you doing? He kind of speak English, broken English with French accent. Nice guy. He's around the corner. Young black fellow. Very nice guy. You never know what kind of people you meet in places. I guess his country has him stationed over here on his signal corps or something. It's a very nice guy. Sad we don't have too many people like that too much in the world. People with manners and people like that. But the trouble we ain't getting in here today is inexcusable. I understand tight security and everything, but I had to argue with a guard to get down here. Just go to the thrift store here on base and everything, and get in here in the thrift store. I mean, here to the museum. And this is Signal Corps here, this whole base. But the point taken is what's top security about equipment that don't even use anymore? We're talking about history stuff, okay, in the museum. I mean, that's sad about the tyrants they use and they hired for security. Mama, did you go down through here?
I'm down here.
Oh, it makes a circle, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And folks, look at this. Oh, this has to be directly out of World War II. I mean, I said World War II, but I meant World War One. The buggy. You see the soldier sitting up on the buggy. The canteen. World War, and this is a display. Let me show you a little bit of the pictures here. Old buggy they use. It's called Signal Corps War Cart. Model 1918. That's neat. Pulled by a horse. It says World War One 100th anniversary. Let me show you a buggy like that. And show you Signal Corps pictures and stuff like that. Shows you old posters. Official United States war films. U.S. official war pictures. And another old poster. And get down here and show you some of these other stuff they have on display. And I'm sure there are many here viewing subscribers that were stationed here at Fort Gordon. You ever in the military? And see, here's showing Signal Corps wiring team around June 1918. And that's what my dad was trained to do. Exact thing. And data using field. He was trained in all that stuff. Field radios, climbing poles. Show you some pictures. Look here, we got a picture. This looks like World War One too. Guy standing here. The old base. You got a young lady, military style, running a telephone desk like them. And you know that was old. We need to go back because they got a place in the corner over here. Yeah, but let's go back over here in the corner and catch all of this. And here's some of the women.
That was the girls that was trained. AT&T trained them first.
I wonder if this was before they ever had what was called the WACs, Women Army Corps.
This was 1917.
That's what I'm saying. Was this the beginning of
Could have been.
the what they call the WACs, Women's Army Corps? Pictures. You know these are over 100 years old.
They was trained in Fort Meade.
Right. Okay. It's a little display here called the Punitive Expedition. And here's the Signal Corps Winter Flying School. And this was originally started by the Wright brothers. You see a picture of this? Barnes Field. And that's right down in the area of what is downtown Augusta now. Mama. The Barnes Field Flying School, Army Signal Corps. And this was way before, this was actually part of Camp Hancock, not Fort Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
This is during the time of this. And this is what I've been telling you I want to go do the video on. Mm-hmm. It's downtown Augusta, where the field used to be. All the downtown is, that's part of Augusta. You wouldn't even recognize the field, but that's what's standing up there today. This Army Corps thing's right here. And the Wright brothers are the ones that started it and such. And there we got some uniforms from the Winter Flight School. They had moved it down here from, I think, Maryland or Massachusetts to warmer climate. And it didn't stay here in Georgia, I think, maybe 2 years at the most. And then they moved it out to Texas. You know, they stayed out there for so long. Here you got an old basket for hot air balloon. It says U.S. Army Aviation, which actually ended up becoming the Army Air Corps. Some pictures of people flying an old airplane. I just find this fascinating. And Signal Corps grows wings, aviation. And they used to have an airstrip out here on Fort Gordon, didn't they?
I don't know.
I think they did. But here, More pictures of
Snoopy's honorary member of the.
ain't that awesome? Because you know I always called him he would go up there and fight the Red Baron on the Peanuts cartoon. Says here the World War I flying ace zooming through the air in his soap whipped camel.
All sports and motor.
Ain't this cool? Here's another display on Signal Corps and some of the air things do. Here on the Derringer, they use Derringers part of the flight in Signal Corps. And just a little bit of information on the Derringers that Army used. Navy also used Derringers too, so they had their own Derringers too. Look how massive these hangars were to hold these Derringers. They used them all the way up to World War II. In the military, they were called Derringers, and now today we call them blimps. And it's a little display on the Spanish-American War. Old canteen from that era. Flags. It says Signal Corps in the Spanish-American War. All the different flags they use. And Philippines, Moro Rebellion. I'm sure there was skirmishes because this is a country been in many skirmishes around the world. I support the soldiers, but I don't support the government getting into all these wars we get into. A display on the Arctic expedition. Can you imagine doing any kind of military expedition in the Arctic? Whew. Snowshoes. Wow. And go. Colt Field signal lamp. Another World War I military. Signal Corps using pigeon service. It's another display. Probably what the military looked like out in the field. Picture one of pigeons. People out in the field using carrier pigeons. But try to give you a view. This picture of outboard switchboard 8 line. Field telephone from 1917. A radio receiving set. And a radio telegraph transmitting set. Got everything the soldiers need for eating. Sandbags, helmets, all of this neat. And we're about to finish up, ain't we? There's more. Wow. And then it has a Signal Corps during the interwar period of 1919, 1941. Look at that old carrier car and all the military equipment they had. That's pictures of Nazis and the kind of Signal Corps they use. Got international signal equipment. Shows the Japanese World War II radio. Japanese field telephone from Iwo Jima, 1945. Got a Canadian wireless control unit from #1 from World War II. Guess a Gibson Girl emergency transmitter from World War II. And different types of telephones. And here we got a Nazi Luftwaffe German Air Force radio from World War II. That's what that looks like. And a German field telephone from World War II. Wow, amazing. And here we got Signal Corps in World War II. We got Chicago Daily Tribune, bomb Hawaii, Philippines, Guam. It says U.S. and Japs at war. Guam, Singapore. And folks, this museum is time spent with families and friends, very educational and such, and it costs nothing. And they ask this for donations. There's another, looks like a field stuff. See the soldier right there? Is a generator. Hambo, you know this is a generator? Hampton, you know this is a generator? The soldier turned the generator to operate the radio station and everything like that. That's neat. Pictures of that tyrant on scrambled brains, Adolf Hitler. And message center. Have you ever wondered if you were born in the wrong time period? Sometimes I do. Okay. Now this is the most special part that has a special place in my heart. Not only being Jewish, but being part of Native American in Cherokee. Here we got a memorial plaque to one of the most famous bee group that I don't think has been honored like they should. It's called the Indian Code Talkers, were part of the Signal Corps. That the Germans could just about decipher every code or secret message we did, and the military came up famous to use the native Indian, the Sioux language, and they know the Germans could never learn the Native American language. And here's some pictures of the Comanche code talker team. I do know that they use, I think, Sioux, but they use these code talkers, and these are not written language; they're spoken languages, and that's why the military use their language as being code. And I think that's very good to honor these people and their service they did for America, even though they were come back home and got persecuted after they're putting their lives on the line. And this is still more of the homing pigeon.
Mm-hmm.
Use a bread.
That's one of the original pigeons that was used during World War II.
They must have
Stuffed him.
Taxidermy. But ain't that neat? Okay, here we have a little display set of how women were used in the military. Being working at the facsimile sets and bringing in orders and such, and how women paid a contribution to the war effort too. And here's a picture of the Zero of the Japanese nation that we fought in World War II. Gives you a little brief history on the Okinawa, the last battle during the war. Gives you a picture of a long-range satellite radar. Shows the plan of the 10th Army invasion plan in 1945. And going down here, it gives you a Signal Corps breakdown of Astoria, New York Center. So, folks, if you ever in Augusta, Georgia, there's a lot to see, and you don't have to spend much money to get on here at Fort Gordon. Got tight security. Don't take long. It's a pain in the rear end, trust me, I know. But it's well worth it going through here to get to this museum to see these things. Okay, folks. I know this video is taking longer than what I expected, but
Oh well.
oh well. If you enjoy this, folks, I'm sure you could bear with me. It shows a little bit of Signal Corps here about the Korean War, and they do this. They got this laid out as of all the wars the Signal Corps had been in, and they tried to give you a little bit of brief history about how Signal Corps played its part in the different eras that we fought in. And over here now, Signal Corps is being involved in space through satellite communication and such. And then it gives you another breakdown. And here's a picture of Signal Corps in the Korean War.
Oh my Lord, Lewis.
What's that?
Can you tell me what that is?
I'm not sure what it is.
You remember the old floppy disk?
Floppy
That
disk?
was the first version of it
That don't
for the
surprise me.
computers.
Well, see, that's why military's always been given the first stuff before they ever made public. Military's always getting first stuff. Wow, that's when Ronald Reagan told him Gorbachev to tear it down. And folks, this is an honor right here. The end of communism. I remember seeing that when Ronald Reagan at a speech at Berlin Wall told old Gorbachev to tear that wall down. And here Fort Gordon here, the museum's got a piece of the wall. It says Berlin Wall, November 1989. And here's a picture of that wall. It says, tear that wall down. A famous slogan of Ronald Reagan. Oh, wow, that's an honor. Well, Germany was divided as a people between that wall from East Germany and West Germany. And it says the Signal Corps during the Cold Wars. And that's what I'm used to the old military uniforms looking like. From the 60s, 70s on up. Here's some pictures giving you some indication about the Cold War era. Then we got the Vietnam era here, right beside it. And I had two brothers that fought during the Vietnam War. And we paid the ultimate price here. I don't believe that's a war that we should have ever been fought. Lost American lives. A lot of American lives were lost because of that. Here's a picture of American display of American prisoners in Vietnam. POWs. Breaks my heart that they ever had to go through such mess as that because of the corrupt government we had. And the government hasn't changed really in all these years. It's like some weapons from Vietnam. And this is Signal Corps right here. I just got through showing you from Desert Storm. I had both a cousin and a nephew fought in them wars. Cyberman. Okay. All right, folks. Well, we're finishing up our little Signal Corps here. And around here and video this. They get a little display here on Signal Corps and the War on Terrorism from 2001 on up. Okay, folks, this is us our finishing up our little display of the Fort Gordon. I sure did. That was funny, wasn't it? We're gonna finish up here. I hope you enjoyed this video and such. There's a little auditorium. They give lectures and stuff here inside the museum. If you enjoyed this video, how about hit the like button? And if you're ever down here in Augusta, Fort Gordon, stop by in and see the Fort Gordon Signal Corps Museum. Well, until the next time, this is Bubba and his family, the Jewish Redneck Preppers, saying God bless and shalom.